U.S. military overseas, there is no question the enemy is Saddam Hussein. But for some Americans at home, negative attention is split between that hated dictator and people who came here by way of a certain European country. News 13's John Lee examines the French connection.
All that's missing is the Eiffel Tower, the architecture, the mountains. Asheville is known as more than just the land of sky. To a growing number of French-speaking people here, this is the Paris of the South. But war has forced a wedge between the United States and France, a country not afraid to be on the front line against the armed conflict. And those with a French connection here in Asheville are taking the heat.
Sometimes there is some heavy silence that as soon as they hear my accent.
Jackie Fontaine owns a bakery and catering business in Buncombe County called Paris Festival. And some of the calls she's been getting lately aren't friendly fire.
We've been asked one more question, which is what? Are we French? And yes, we are French. In return response, we get we're not interested. So that kind of hurt your feeling being in this country for 38 years.
And Jackie's son John even served the U.S. of A. in Operation Desert Storm. To some, the lack of support from France has tainted everyday things, ranging from French fries to French toast. Here in Asheville, at this rate, we may eventually be paddling down the Freedom Broad River. For Franco-Americans, they are clearly caught between Iraq and a hard place. Francois Manavit is the head of the Franco-American Club here in Asheville. He says the anti-French sentiment is deja vu.
In 1919, the German-Americans were also subject to harassment. And it's funny to realize that hamburger and sauerkraut were renamed Liberty Sandwich and Liberty Cabbage.
UNC Asheville economics professor Bruce Larson says that country's position isn't completely understood here in the U.S., which leads to backlash.
Am I surprised about it? I think really the answer is no. There are people who think that either with us or you're against us.
This website is one outlet for outrage. The name speaks for itself. No matter what happens in Iraq, to some Americans, the feud with the French could linger well beyond this war. In Asheville, John Lee, News 13.
And if that wasn't enough for you, how about some flat-out flattening of something French? A New Hampshire radio station takes the literal approach to bashing France. DJs buy a Peugeot automobile, write "Thank you French" on the hood, then drop it from a crane.
U.S. Marines